Now, I'm going to say this up front. If this video clip that I'm about to play makes you uncomfortable, it's not because it's wrong. It's because you weren't supposed to hear it in the first place. Because when the niece of a Black Panther founder says, hey, y'all better thank the orange man, you know the narrative is collapsing. The narrative that they've been trying to protect. Y'all watch this closely.
Let me give y'all some game right here. You heard it from Aisha 4 and 5 Newton. The 2020 election was won by some own bullshit. Okay? And the Democrats knew that it was some bullshit. This is why the first thing they did was open up that border, because you know what? In 2020, you had more Black Americans who had registered and voted Republican than in a very, very long time, okay? And they knew that that was a very bad situation for them. So they had to bring a motherfucker over by the masses so they can replace y'all asses. And guess what? Y'all have almost been replaced. Y'all better thank the orange guy. Let me give y'all some game right here. Listen, illegal immigration that we have seen in the last 4 years was done by design. And what it was brought to, for all these people to be brought here, give them ID, let them vote. And why wouldn't they vote for the people who brought them here and giving them free housing, child care, food, clothing, putting them in some of the most expensive hotels in the world? They were living their life in New York, while you guys are sleeping in tents and cars and sleeping at your cousin's house and living from pillow to post, can't get right, just all fucked up. And y'all want to sit here and fight for these motherfuckers? I feel like this is why the mental health situation in the Black community, we need to figure this out, y'all.
Yeah, she made some great points there. Now, notice what just happened. Not a known Republican, not a MAGA influencer, not, a CNN panelist up there. None of that. This is a Black Panther family member who just said the quiet part out loud. Black voters are being politically replaced, and Trump disrupted that. And that's why this clip is going viral. Not because it's extreme, but because it wasn't supposed to exist. They'll call her confusing, right? They'll use words like that, or they'll say that she's grifting. Obviously, they'll question the motives, but they won't touch the claim. They ain't gonna touch that. Because once you touch the claim, the whole timeline unravels. So let's rewind, y'all. Let's rewind. Because if this is really about kids in cages, then the outrage should have started a long time ago.
She just gave the left a reality check.
You're protesting ICE today, but you voted for it in 2008.
We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away.
You ever ask yourself, why is it that the party that is so upset about mass deportation today is the same party that ran on mass deportation back in 2008? No one protested when Obama put kids in cages back in 2010. No one protested when Obama separated families back in 2010.
Nobody.
You had no problem supporting mass deportations back when you liked the president that was doing it. And accept the fact that the only reason you're protesting, the only reason you're arguing against this is because you simply want to hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, that TDS be real. This is where the anesthesia decides to kick in, y'all. Mass deportations didn't start with Trump. ICE didn't start with Trump. Detention facilities did not start with Donald J. Trump. All right? But somehow the protest did. 3 million deportations, kids in cages, family separations. Then the streets were quiet. Because the right person was in office when all that was going on. Obama. So if the policy didn't change, you got to ask yourself, what did? What changed? The answer is immigration. if you ask me, just a nobody, I'll say it's branding. Yeah, I'll say branding. No, it sounded like I said Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Anywho, and once you see the branding collapse, the visual starts telling a very different story.
So this is Trump's ICE facility that they take the kids to. Honestly, this is pretty hard to watch, so I'm just gonna give you guys a warning. This is so cruel. I can't believe this. Feeding them Republican propaganda? How dare they? Wow, forcing them to play basketball? That's probably racist somehow. Honestly, this is just pure cruelty. I can't believe how bad they're being to these people. I'm sorry you guys had to see that, but on a much lighter note, let's take a look at some of Obama's, paradises that he had for his illegal immigrants. As you can see here, just very, very considerate. The holes he put in those cages so that people could breathe fresh air and fresh oxygen. Honestly, super considerate. There's Obama there, letting them be able to see a famous person, someone of notoriety so they can look up to. I mean, the humility is crazy of this guy. Yeah, so I think we learned a lot here.
Same borders, same government, same system. But suddenly, one side gets called inhumane, the other gets a media blackout, if you will. Don't even get talked about. It's not compassion. That's quite literally selective outrage, y'all. And selective outrage only exists to protect power, which brings us to why Trump reposted this next clip. Y'all got to see this. Oh, wait, hold on. This ain't the clip right here. This the clip. My bad. Move a little too quick. Because this was never about enforcement. It was about who benefits from the chaos. The caption reads, nothing.
Democrat open borders plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
Oh, wow. This is not the best part. Whoever that video did their job. This is the part they don't want debated. Census power. House seats, electoral votes, permanent leverage. All right. They don't want that at all. You don't need illegals to vote. You just need them counted, right? Somebody's car is going off. Hopefully y'all can't hear that alarm. Sounds like leftist protesting ICE right now. Anyhow, when people start connecting those dots about the illegals, just needing them to be counted, the conversation shifts from emotion to intent, which is why the message suddenly changes from humanitarian crisis to shut up and stop asking questions. Yeah, man. And when the narrative starts cracking, they reach for feelings.
To all those young kids that walked out of school yesterday and the parents who allowed them to walk out of school and didn't try to correct or do anything about it, y'all ain't never gonna be shit in life.
Hey.
Y'all ain't. As long as you allow your feelings to interrupt the process or things you're supposed to be getting done, you ain't gonna make it nowhere. The rich man don't motherfucking get rich by caring about how tired his employees are. That's a fact. The employee doesn't get into the next position by being lazy and being tired and deciding to walk off. I'm just saying, you don't start a business and then quit because it got hard. That's life. Fuck your feelings. Your feelings have nothing to do with your job you are trying to accomplish. And if you can't finish school, I don't want you working for me. You want to walk out at any moment in time because you feel like it. You don't need to come here. You don't need a paycheck. You can go sit at home, and sooner or later, them paychecks for free people sitting at home gonna disappear too. So fuck your feelings. It is what it is. You just showed the world y'all ain't about to be shit, and we knew it was coming anyway.
Yeah, my guy, man. I like the way he put it. Rough, blunt. And that's exactly why it hits, right? Because real life doesn't stop for your feelings. Bills don't pause. Employers don't pause. Look, reality for certainly, for sure, whatever, don't pause. You know, me messing up my words, though. Anyway, and when the movement runs purely on emotion, it collapses the moment accountability decides it want to go ahead, show up. Which is why this final clip lands the way it does. Because when emotions run out, people start reaching for truth.
The Democratic Party, I'm going to say it tonight so that you won't be confused, is the Antichrist Party. It is anti-family. And I'm going to say this, you're not going to believe it, but it is anti-black folk. You are only needed for votes. You are only loved when it's time to get your votes. There's no real care about you. And see, we still stuck, and we got that thing ingrained in us that this is the party for the black man. It is not. The party has changed. Black people, really, to be honest with you, have never been the priority. They have only been used. Go back and look at the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We've all given Democrats credit for that, but Johnson was the one that wanted to pass it, but he couldn't get enough Democrat votes to pass it. It was the Republicans that pushed and passed the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Go tonight and look it up. Look at Wiki, W-I-K-I, put it in there, 1960. He couldn't even get enough Democrats to vote for it. So he had to go to Republican senators in order to help him out. They are anti-life. The party pushes stuff that's anti-life. It pushes anti-morality because most of their policies are immoral, that pushes sexual perversion. It is the party of death. Why do you say that, Pastor? If you go back, you'll see slavery started with the Democratic Party. And we saw many slaves that died. We also saw under Jim Crow. Jim Crow was established by Democrats. And we saw under Jim Crow how many were hung and lynched. And then we are seeing today how many babies, African-American people are giving up their future because they won't have, in another 15, 20 years, they won't have enough people because they have cut their birth rates off and have aborted their children. This is exactly what the party wants. So it is a party of death when it comes down to it. It is a party that is against black families. Look at the history of the family. From slavery, which were Democrat plantation owners, in slavery, they separated our families. They would not even acknowledge the marriages of black families. They would even take a black man over here who called himself being married to a woman, but if he was a big, strong guy, they took him and made him mate with another woman. That's one of the reasons our marriages and our families have not been strong, because the spirit of that has passed down generationally. We have not always had strong family structures like we should have. Now, we did good up in the early 1900s, 1920, 30. Our families were pretty good and pretty strong during that time. But what happened was they bought the war on poverty. This was Democrat. Bought the war on poverty. You know what they did? They gave money to fix a problem. So they had programs, they gave welfare, but they took one key out that they understood was the key to the family. They took the man out of the home. Ladies, we'll give you the money, but you can't have a man in your house. That means the children now were robbed of them having a father. And so that kept, once again, another policy that has hurt our families. And then even today, Black Lives Matter, which was also supported by the Democratic Party, they had in their particular policies that they were against the nuclear family that had the father at the head. They did not believe in patriarchy. And so we look down through the years and we've seen the party destroy our families, and people don't see it because they don't understand truth. This is why policy is so important, because it should be about America first. That's like all of you in your homes, your home, your children, and what you're responsible for has got to be first before you go and try to help everybody else. So
That's
we
right.
need to take, in order to be a blessing to other citizens from other nations, we got to take care of America first.
Now, you know, I know some people that's not going to agree with his delivery. That's neither here nor there. You know, a party that destroys family, erases responsibility, and replaces self-reliance with dependency will always call itself compassionate. And the most dangerous laws are the ones wrapped in good intentions. I'm just trying to tell you, I've learned that from experience. So, you got a Black Panther niece saying, "Thank you, Trump." I don't think that's betrayal. If anything, that's what we do here. We recognize patterns. That's pattern recognition. And when old footage keeps resurfacing, the narrative keeps collapsing. Obama. That's not coincidence, y'all. This is the truth leaking out faster than they can try to contain it. It's already out there. So if you made it to the end, I want you to comment orange receipts. Orange receipts. Orange receipts. Figured I'd give y'all different tones. I want to know who actually watches, not even for the algorithm. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing these random rants at the end of my videos. What do I want to talk about now? I don't know. Today is Sunday. I just got finished watching a sermon from Pastor Mike McClure Jr. in the midst of me uploading today, and because I wasn't able to make it to church today. And the sermon that I ended up coming across is called "Let Them," and it was a part 3 series, and I ended up clicking on the part 3. And yeah, it reminded me of the book, The Let Them Theory, that I just purchased a few weeks ago that I'm enjoying a lot. Basically, just understanding, man, overall, people are going to be people. You have your thoughts, you have your set of ticks, and you're entitled to that. And people are entitled to that as well. And everything isn't necessarily spotlight syndrome. Everything is not just always happening to you. Sometimes you just have to let people be people, as opposed to trying to sit there and change anything about them or change what you think would suit you better, you know, out of their personality. Yeah. So just let people be them. Let these Democrats be them. I know I said a whole lot of jumbling right then and there, but I'm pretty sure you caught the point. We're going to let these Democrats be them. Until it starts to impede on our lives and our families. Anywho, be safe. Go check out somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.